All right, welcome to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We got Collin Morikawa's win at the Open to talk about. Obviously, he's the first player to win his debut major in both the PGA and the Open, or just any in general. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the 3M Open this week with some bets and DFS picks. So let's get into it.
So I guess we could open up a stat of the week since you just did the stat of the week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that was stat of the week, but yeah, stat of the week. Collin Morikawa was the first player to win 2 different majors on his first attempt. So let's just get inside the ropes. When you watch Collin Morikawa do that, it's like, because his putting was on. He's like not the best putter, obviously, but when his putting's on, or even like serviceable, he literally is gonna win everything.
Well, yeah, because he's like the most ridiculous ball striker, like in general.
Ridiculous.
Like, that's why I picked him last week to win.
It's
like,
not
pretty
he's
spot
not
on with it.
He's not arguably the best now with like JT and stuff. He's the best ball striker in the world.
Oh, he's so far head and shoulders above everyone in iron play. It's not even close how good his irons are compared to everyone.
And he put new
else's.
irons in the bag. He put 9, 8, and 7 in the bag. New clubs.
Yeah, he's using a mixed set. Like he has 3 different types of irons. Like
was that because I saw something on Twitter and I wish I never saw it, because I picked Morikawa to finish top whatever it was, 40. Greg picked him to win. I said I love Morikawa just because of his great iron play and looks not super long course. And I saw I forgot who it was, might have been Daniel Rappaport. And he tweeted, Morikawa doesn't love how his club feels going through the turf at Royal St. George's first time in Scotland or England. And then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I won't pick him in my our pool. And I didn't pick him, and then he ends up going out and winning the golf tournament.
I mean, yeah, I was saying last week, I literally was like, did we like not know something that the odd makers know? Because like his odds were like what, plus 3,600.
Yeah,
like, I was so all over
that's
him.
That's what he was like. Like I feel like Party Park was different because we didn't really know of him as much back then.
We knew,
but even majors after
he'd win a
that.
major, but
yeah, we knew he was good. But also, like, even majors after that, his odds have not been incredibly high, and he's still one of like most consistent players. He has more wins on tour than missed cuts or something like that.
Jordan
like 5
Spieth,
to 4,
like played an unreal tournament. Like,
yeah,
everybody would if Collin Morikawa just like, you know, I don't know, had an okay week and shot like, or not an okay week, just like a, you know, a really solid week, shot like 8 under. Jordan Spieth would have won it by what, 2? Like
2 or 3. I think it was 3. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
and
just not
everybody would be talking about how Jordan Spieth's resurgence, and he was like, you know, obviously we're talking about it anyway because he did play well, but I mean, Jordan Spieth, it would be a very different conversation.
Not even Spieth, not even Morikawa having just a solid week, 8 under week. If Morikawa made a bogey in his last 27 holes, it might have been a whole different tournament.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
All. And like, if Jordan makes that putt on 18 on round 2,
yeah,
who knows? Or round 3,
he doesn't go bogey to end that round.
To finish.
Yeah.
I mean, what I was gonna say is there's really no
championship.
bend in Collin Morikawa's game. Like he just plays like very rock solid, safe golf. Like he doesn't hit a lot of bad iron shots.
He's gonna win a Masters so easily one year.
Oh, I
don't know when it's gonna
100%.
happen, but it's going to.
100%. That's
a little more experience under his belt. And
my next question was, how many majors is he gonna win in his career? He has 2 and 8 majors.
2 for his first 2, like in those 2 events. And like, not only what makes that stat a little bit more impressive is the fact that like they're 2 completely different events. Like you have the PGA Championship on one hand, like over in the US, like, you know, I mean, it was a little bit lengthy this year, but not totally, or when he won. But And then you have the Open, where he like doesn't really play in Europe a lot. He says he hasn't played in Europe a lot. There's not a lot of courses like that in California. Like he literally said if he didn't play the Scottish
Or in the
Open the week
US.
before, he wouldn't have played well at all in the Open because it
Yeah.
was his first experience kind of in
Yeah.
links. Like just to do that in two completely different majors is kind
His
of crazy.
3-wood is so money. He
Yeah.
literally just has
Yeah,
that
he- I mean,
baby
he-
fade on it, just a little butter cut right into the middle of the fairway every time.
It's like he doesn't need the. This is why the Open is cool, because like you like obviously we'll get to Bryson eventually, but there's no way to overpower the golf course this week or at the Open. You can't. It's so hard to do because you like
Yeah,
there's so much more
because
I feel like
being
there's so much more
super
strategy
close,
involved.
being super close doesn't do like, I mean, obviously being close to the pin whenever really like, you know, it will, it's a good thing. It's a good advantage, but like you had to get so creative with all your shots, just with like the contours of the green
Yeah.
and just the position
And
of the fairway bunkers.
And it wasn't even like the weather was bad at all. It was beautiful all week. There was not even
Oh
that
yeah,
much
no, there was
wind,
not a
and it
lick
still,
of bad
and
weather.
it was still Bryson still couldn't play like the most Americanized Open Championship, you could say, in terms of weather.
Mm.
I mean, and that's just generalization. And Bryson still couldn't even really overpower the court. Obviously, he
Right.
shot
Like,
What did we say last
yesterday,
week? Last week we said like you have to be in the fairway. If you're in the
but you have to
fairway,
be
you
in the
have a
fairway.
good chance. If
And
you're
the
not
rough
in the
is
fairway,
the rough is brutal.
I mean, good luck. You can't overpower
Yeah.
the rough in the Open. And I mean, the course, you're right. It played a little bit different. We had perfect weather all week. I mean, it played a little bit soft. So there wasn't a lot of roll. Like if it was harder, you could probably hit 2 irons on every tee and just roll it out like 300 plus yards. But like it was pretty soft. Like obviously there's a lot of contours and stuff at Royal St. George's, which makes every shot relatively interesting. But I mean, you can't overpower it.
I mean, we absolutely, and we can go into that. We'll go into that later too. We absolutely nailed this major. Like all of our best
Spot
bets
on.
hit. Greg picked the winner. Our DraftKings lineup was awesome. Like it was
even
like
Webb,
you could
Webb
not have.
Simpson first round leader was a good shout too. Like he played a good first round.
Yeah.
And like he hadn't
Like
been playing
it
well.
was. We basically knew like style of golf that was going to play well was basically the more like the great, if you were a great iron player, a good consistent ball striker, kept it straight, kind of like that's all you really needed. Morikawa, like we said, all he needed was if Morikawa putts well any given week, like he's probably going to win that week just because his ball striking is so good.
I mean, we picked first, second, and third in our DFS lineup this week.
That's crazy.
Shout out.
And not a singular one of our best bets had us at any doubt. Louis top 30,
0,
no doubt. Morikawa at top 40, obviously, no doubt. And Bezadenhout over Higo. Higo shot like 8 over, and Bezadenhout, like, you know, I forget what he finished at, but he was under par like through 2 days.
Yeah, and it's not like even who were our winners. Xander finished T20. Xander was the only one who didn't really play that great.
But he finished T26.
We were on the money on this.
I mean, what we learned from this week is that ball striking travels everywhere in the world. If you're a good ball striker, you have a chance in every single tournament.
I find it so crazy though that in a week like this, like you can pick Louis Oosthuizen and he's gonna like do well. You can pick Collin Morikawa, he's gonna do well. You can pick like the top of the leaderboards because there's gonna be a bunch of like blue bloods, whatever, of like the PGA Tour. But then you go to like the 3M Open this week, and like Louis Oosthuizen's like the second favorite, but like he probably will do like fine.
Yeah,
I get cut.
If I had to pick one guy not to win this week, it probably would be Louis Oosthuizen not to win.
I mean, he looked like he ran out of gas. I'm surprised he's playing this week because, like, just in the final round alone, we didn't even talk about that.
He's playing this week.
Another top 5 in a major, and he was in the lead practically the entire
54 hole lead
until the last round.
Before the last round,
and it's just like, I mean, he ran out of gas. It's just draining golf coming down the stretch.
I mean, Louis just, you talk about ran out of gas. Like he doesn't, I realize this, but he doesn't really have like all the majors he's finished second in. He never really like chokes it away. He just never really
he
doesn't finish it.
Yeah.
Morikawa finished that major.
Yeah,
Shot 4 under final round.
4 under final round. And Louis went 1 over in the final round. I mean, and then Jordan Spieth also was
and
4
like
under.
Obviously, 1 over is not going to win it, but like
no.
And whatever, he was 1 bounce away from
that,
he was 1 bounce away from being right back in it on that hole in one.
Yeah.
Oh
shot,
yeah.
Where we hit the pin.
It was.
That was
still like he had the
253.
Louis had the bunker shot on, was it the par 5 where he spladed it over the green to the other bunker? Like at that, you watch that shot in that moment. You're like, this is like he's might be over for him at that.
It's happening again.
It's hole 7. Yeah, like he did that in the U.S. Open. He hit it in the hazard in 17. It's like there's maybe just one shot. I don't know about the other ones that came in second, third, so close to, but there's like one shot usually, or maybe one time. It's not even like a choke either. It's just one bad mistake at a bad time, and it just turns into an average round.
And Collin Morikawa, in the end of the day, Collin Morikawa made no mistakes in the final round at all.
Yeah, it would have been pretty hard to beat Collin Morikawa in that final round.
It would have been very, very hard to beat. But yeah, it would have been really, really hard to beat.
And he's only 24. He's 24 years old, and he's just like the most mature 24-year-old.
Oh, dude, that speech he gave after was like,
I
was literally thinking to myself. I was in my room watching that, and I was like, this guy's 2 years older than us. And he gave that speech. I couldn't give a speech anywhere close to that to like my class of like 12 people in college.
Exactly. It's amazing. And then if you go to our TikTok at the Pin High Pod, I posted another TikTok recently. Like our TikTok's been popping off a little bit recently.
Of what?
Shout out. Of Collin Morikawa, his post thing, like post match presser, I guess. And pretty much he was talking about how like, oh, like anyone could win any week, and I like should take some time and enjoy the wins because I don't really do that, but I just want more. I want more. And that's pretty much what he said, which is crazy. He just won the Open. Yeah. He just won his second major at the age of 24, and he still wants more, which is.
And when he said that that thing to Frankie Borelli, I think on Foreplay a couple weeks ago, he's like talking about how he is like an adrenaline junkie. He like wants to like be in that. He loves that feeling down the stretch on a Sunday where he's like, yeah, you're so nervous, and you know, like
he loves that.
He loves that.
Yeah, like
it's feeling like that.
It clearly was on full. I mean, he didn't make a bogey for the last 27 holes. 20. It was more than 20 holes. I know that, and it's just he was just on. You couldn't like he's unflappable.
I mean, obviously, none of us have ever been on like national television, like playing for a major championship in front of millions of people. But like everyone's had that feeling probably in some sort of sport where like that that nervousness is like literally consuming your body, and you're like, well, I simply couldn't perform any task right now. Like imagine
if they hit a ground ball to me, like it's going through my legs,
dude. Like literally, like I couldn't like it's like I couldn't squeeze my glove on a fly ball right now. But like
it's kind of like hitting a tee shot on the opening hole, like for us, like that's pretty much what it is.
Times
like 100,000.
Or imagine if one of you had like a 4-foot putt to shoot like 1 under par. Like how would you feel over that putt? You'd be like shaking. I'd be shaking my boot, like shaking over that putt, like try to go under par. Something like
absolutely
that.
Crazy.
And he's doing that. And he's 24. He's 2 years older than us. Played in 8 majors and he's won 2 of them. Like did you? I don't know if you guys answered, but did you? How many more do you think he's gonna win before he's done? Like he's
impossible to say.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because ball striking travels everywhere, so he has
Rory,
a shot at every major.
You could say the same thing about like Rory when he like say this podcast happened like 8 years, not 8 years ago, whenever he was like on his stretch. Well, around 8 years ago, probably, right?
Yeah, sure.
When Rory hasn't won a major in 8 years.
Yeah. Exactly. So when he was on his good stretch, like you probably were like, oh, he's gonna win, like he's gonna win more than Tiger. He's gonna win like 12, or he's gonna win like 12 majors.
You probably could
say that about Spieth too. Yeah.
Same thing about
Spieth too.
Dude, Spieth's ball striking this week was also insane.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how many fairways he hit.
They're two different players, him and Collin, because like Spieth is a very good scrambler, and his short game is just like really good. And he also just makes a bunch of bomb putts just kind of out of nowhere. Like he just gets hot with the putter
Yeah.
pretty
No,
randomly.
you
Where
you
Collin
have,
just
you,
kind of
you
like
have that
plays
feeling.
steady.
Debatably the best mental game in the world right now. I mean, like
Yeah, I
obviously
would say
Tiger's not playing.
him and Brooks Koepka probably right
I think
now.
Brooks.
Tiger's
I think
number
Brooks-
one.
Yeah, Tiger's obviously. There's no question. Tiger's number one.
Yeah.
But I
But
think,
him and Brooks Koepka, yeah, because like both of them are those guys that like a bogey in like like the second round on like he went Collin Morikawa went bogey or no. He was like 2 over through his first like 4, I think, on day 3.
wow.
Mhm. Yeah,
And it was like it was easily
Yes,
he easily could have fallen off
like
there.
5 shots back.
That's where
Yeah.
someone like Jordan Spieth, not to trip Jordan Spieth because I love Jordan Spieth, that's something that's like a pivotal moment where like that might be the end of it for him. But instead, Collin Morikawa,
Jordan had his putter troubles like early on this week. He
Yeah.
took his putter back to his room and slept with his putter like the day before the final round.
That's the most
People don't
Jordan
really
Spieth
talk
I've
about
ever
that.
heard in my
And like
entire
honestly,
life,
he
though,
was
too.
draining putts. So
yeah, he was.
Well, it's like that's like Jordan. Like we can go to Jordan too, but like he just doesn't like he's really competing. He's really playing well, but he did the front 9. It felt like he couldn't even. He wasn't hitting the ball amazing, and he was still like 100 par in like the front 9. And then like all he needs to do is get like the putter hot, and then just like you feel like you're watching, you feel like he's gonna make every single putt that he hits. Like on that eagle putt on 7, it's like like you knew
that
he
was
gonna
going
make
in.
that. You knew it was
That
gonna
one
make
was
it before he even
zigzagging.
stepped up to it. Yeah, like you knew it was gonna drop, or like any putt, every time he's within like 15 feet, you're like, all right, he's gonna make that.
Yeah.
And that feeling is so awesome, especially watching Jordan for so long and wanting him to get back to that, I guess, mountaintop.
And we talk about all these guys that like obviously did well this week. Do we want to talk about this whole just like this Bryson conundrum?
Yes,
that was going
all
on
over the place. Like,
when this Bryson and Brooks stuff started happening, I was like, honestly, I like both of them, and like it's just like whatever. Like I'm not on anybody's side, and I wouldn't even say I'm on Brooks's side, but like Bryson has made it so difficult to like him recently.
Oh, I 100% agree. 100%.
Yeah, so for all of you who don't know, we should probably mention what he said after a 1 over 71 on Thursday at the British Open. He spoke to the media and he said his driver, made by Cobra, his driver sucks. The face isn't good for him, and like they don't have a driver that works for him. He's been trying to figure it out, and his driver sucks. And I can't agree with it at all.
Which
like
I think is,
if you're swinging that fast, you're gonna hit it all over the place. Like that's just how it is. And Cobra took a shot right back at him. I don't know.
Which is even funnier because that was the guy who went back at him
was
saying
Tim
he was, who carried for him the week at the Rocket Mortgage. Like he carried for him like a week ago. And
he called him like an
Bryson
8-year-old.
Yeah, he's calling him an 8-year-old, and like it's impossible to please him. And it wasn't like Bryson just said, "Oh, the driver." Like if I said, "Oh, the driver sucks," like, "Oh, I drove the ball terrible."
Or like when you say like my driver sucks, you mean like, oh, like I'm hitting my driver terribly because I suck.
Yeah,
but he literally goes in to say that, and like if he just said that, it could have been up for interpretation. But then he goes, the face just sucks for like, it's like, oh, exactly. No, so he just actually is the driver.
It's actually the driver. It's not him. Yeah. It's not him. It's not his fault at all.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's saying
it's the driver's fault.
It's almost as if he's saying he programmed himself to like hit the ball like the same way every time, and that like if the ball's not going straight, it's not his fault. It's the equipment's fault.
I honestly,
and I think he truly thinks that. Yeah,
he believes that.
Yeah. Oh, I
100%.
But when you're swinging the club as fast as he swings the club, it's almost impossible to hit the ball straight sometimes.
I think my official take on Bryson is just like, yeah, he's fun to watch when he's playing well, and like it's an interesting thing, and I won't actively root against him, but he just is he's an absolute maniac of a human being, and not in a good way.
But in a way, that's what makes him so good at golf sometimes. Like when he's on you kind of take this maniac stuff and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's what makes him good. That's what makes him so good. But when he's not playing well, like this week, it just makes him look like a complete idiot. Like it's just that's how the only way to say it.
And you'd think he probably agrees with that, and that he's just like, yep, this is who I am, which is, it's respectable, I guess. So he's Bryson is Bryson. He's unapologetically Bryson DeChambeau. And, like he's like, okay, deal with it.
And that's another thing that we got spot on this week. We didn't think Bryson was going to play well.
I don't
and
think
like he was
Bryson.
spraying the ball all over the place during the match. Like, of course he was going to do it at the Open. Like, if he can't do it at a match,
like this, we said he needed to hit the ball in the fairway, and like we know, I think this Bryson's game only works for certain kind of golf courses. Like it works for like a winged foot, it works for a Torrey Pines where you can bomb it and just hit it like as far as you can and be in the rough, because like there's no like other like real defense to a lot of those courses. Like a winged foot, it feels like the rough is super thick and like really tricky greens, but other like he played and chipped well obviously when he played there, but it doesn't feel like it translates too well to the Open. I don't know what Bryson's missed like 2 other cuts at the Open. Like he's never really done too great there. Like it's more of like a Collin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth kind of place, the Open, and Bryson's going to go Rocket Mortgage and tear it up, because of course he's going to tear it up. He's just going to hit as far as he can and not be penalized really for it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what happens next year if the strategy is a little bit different. Now, St. Andrews is a different Open venue, but like, I wonder. And also, not a lot of wind this week, so I mean, it was kind of like bombs away, in a certain extent. But if there's going to be wind, he obviously can't do that.
Right. And then
I also agree with the Pat, your comment about Brooks. It's like, well, Bryson's never like he's handled this so poorly, all of it, every single aspect, basically. Bryson, like kicking people out, and the Brooks thing with the beer.
He's almost like
beer
giving
thing was
Brooks
bad on Brooks. Yeah,
a free layup every time.
He's so annoying about it, because like he'll like say something to the media and make it seem like, because he said like, oh, I think it'd be funny if we were on the same team, like at the Ryder Cup, or like the same pairing. I think we actually do pretty well, blah blah blah. Or like, oh no, I don't care about the people calling me Brooksy. I welcome that. And then that's a facade. That's not true. Like
it's
he
not.
does care.
It's like
commit
BS.
to something, man.
Total
just like
BS.
Don't just like please like, or like act like you're cool, or act like you're cool with him, both, honestly, when you're not. And it's fine if you're not, but just like maybe what I said about him being unapologetically himself like really isn't true, if he's like kind of playing both sides. It's kind of just like, if I'm Brooks, that's what I'm mad about. It's like he's kind of making Brooks look bad sometimes when he goes on the other side and says he doesn't care, because like, okay, well, you do.
Which I think at the start of this, it felt like, okay, Brooks is kind of an asshole, which he, like, to a certain extent, I think he is.
Yeah.
And I think the whole Michelob thing was kind of a little bit over the top. But then like this last like few weeks, it's turned to, I think everyone realizes that Bryson's just a psychopath.
It's too easy.
And that Brooks is just like, he's just saying, like, he's just making layups. He's just saying, oh, I love my driver. Like, it's a smirk on that. Like, that's funny. That's not even like,
he doesn't overdo it too.
It's not even like he's attacking Bryson. He's just saying, he's just making it a little quiet. Anyone can do that. Anyone can make that dig at Bryson. And
I kind of just want to go back to the fact that this is the year where they're instituting like the Google thing, like where you search people. Like, I bet you Bryson and Brooks are probably leading the charge right now in terms of that.
Sure.
So,
no, definitely.
I mean, it's in the end, it's probably good for both of them. So
probably, but I feel like there's no way they're doing it
for a reason. Like they had to.
Yep, that's one thing. They could just be playing everyone.
I think that's involved. I think that's involved for sure. But I think we realize now, and who knows how far it's going to go. But Bryson is. To me now, Bryson's just a psychopath, and Brooks is still kind of an asshole, but it's not as not as bad as I thought he was at the beginning of this whole thing.
However, there's
That's
a
my
lot
opinion.
of good personalities on tour, and I feel like
Yeah.
every golfer is stepping up the Twitter game recently.
Oh, yeah.
Like you even have Collin Morikawa
Oh,
just like
100%.
replying to like Barstool people, like just.
Yeah,
I mean,
big
obviously he was on
cash.
their
Yeah.
podcast last week, but like I feel like Collin Morikawa wouldn't do that if there wasn't something in it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy though. He's like mature beyond his years, and it seems
Oh,
like
yeah,
he's
big
still
time.
like
Yeah, I'd love to play
some points a
around the
kid.
golf. He might
He seems
join
like a
one of
really
the-
nice
one of
dude.
the nice
Just
Oh, he seems so
genuinely
genuine
nice.
too. Like an
dream
actual like the
groups.
complete opposite of Bryson, basically.
Like I was
An actual-
thinking the other day, when he was carrying the claret jug, or that's what it's called, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Claret jug. Yeah. Like if like the top fell off or something, and then, like if I was thinking if I was like carrying the claret jug and like I had a mic on me or something like by accident and I dropped it, I'd probably like swear or something. I'd be like, oh, and say something. And I was thinking, Collin Morikawa, I feel like easily without like him just knowing, I feel, or like without trying, he just go, oh, shoot. Like he's like,
I mean, look at the PGA when he dropped it. He just goes like, oh,
yeah,
and the thing comes off the
and he's
cap
just
comes
laughing
off the
about
top, and
it.
he's just
like,
laughing. But
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
I guess in that moment he just won $2 million in one of the
yeah, you really don't care.
more
Yeah.
biggest
But it would just
golf
slip out. I don't
tournaments
know.
in the
He's
world.
genuinely nice dude, it seems like. But
Yeah, he seems like an awesome guy.
I know it's not the biggest news on planet Earth. But low key, the Barbasol was also this week, the Barbasol Championship, and Seamus Power won. I feel like that was coming on for a long time. Seamus Power is like under the radar, playing very well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't watch any of it.
No,
but he
neither
is
did
one
I.
of those guys.
I wouldn't
think
I
this is
actually
his
saw it.
first PGA Tour win as well. I mean, he had a T8 at the John Deere, a T8 at the Rocket Mortgage. So yeah, he's a guy who's been playing well recently. A T19 at the Travelers, T19 at the Palmetto, T9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events, a first place finish, 3 top 10s, and all of them are in the top 20.
Pretty crazy.
I actually I played River Highlands this weekend.
What'd you shoot on 15?
I made bogey on 15. I tried to drive the green and I hit in the rough. The rough is
We don't want to talk about it.
I'll talk about that. It was I played so bad in the back. I shot like 46 and 45 on the back or something like that.
Which you on the
I
front?
birdied 17, 30, 40, 40. I was
Okay.
I was 3 over through 8, and then I went on like I don't think I made a par until 18 after that. And one birdie.
The course looks so pure.
It was really bad. It was one of those rounds where just like nothing could go right after like a certain hole. It was terrible.
Well, that's not looking
I'm
good
in the
for
bar.
your qualifier on Wednesday, huh?
No, but I practiced a little bit today. I feel a little bit better. Feel a little bit better, Jake. I'm playing tomorrow, so I'll be ready. I'll be ready for Wednesday.
Okay.
Very nice.
But I was watching, like, we get in the bar afterwards, and we're kind of like watching TV. It's like 7:00 at night, and the Barbasol is going on. And was the playoff was Power and JT Poston the whole playoff? Those two, the whole playoff.
Uh-huh.
So what I saw, I don't know what, I think it was 16. Poston was on 16, had 3-shot lead. I don't know what Power was at this point, or Powers. I don't know. Power.
That could go on the list of golf names, by the way, if we ever do that.
Seamus Power,
Power's a good one. Yeah. I also saw a guy named Hammer in the field this week, which is a great name.
Cole Hammer.
That's a sick name. Yeah. But Poston hit left, and like it looked like it was like right next to like some TV wires, and it like the ball was basically like that far, like literally an inch or centimeter to the left of these TV wires. And like I couldn't hear what was going on, but it sounded like they're deciding like how relief, or what I thought was relief. And it turned out the ball was out of bounds, left of these TV wires. And it was just TV wires. It was like grass in bounds, TV wires, and then grass left, and that was
out of bounds.
Out of bounds. And
That's
he was
so dumb.
that far out of bounds, and he lost, and clearly lost the tournament on his 6th playoff hole.
Right.
Which
I
is,
mean,
like, he made
also these
double on the
playoffs
hole,
keep
which is
going
crazy.
like 5 to like 8 holes all of a sudden, which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy. We've had a playoff in a
Yeah.
lot of the recent events. So.
Here we have.
What a great day of golf that is, though. That's
Great
the
day of
Open
golf.
Championship, and then one in six playoff holes in the Barbell.
I will say the Open ends
Pretty-
at the
it's
perfect
pretty
time
intense.
too. Like it ends at
It
like
does.
what, like 2:30, 1:30. Like that's just great for like a Sunday.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not better than prime time, obviously.
Well, yeah,
Prime
of
time's
course.
So we already did
best.
the skins, or not the skins. Sorry, the stat of the week. Do we want to move into skins right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we got the 3M Open this week, but first a word from our sponsor, Roback.
You probably noticed us wearing some new Roback merch over the past few episodes, whether it was the hat both me and Jake are wearing right now. Trevor has one as well. A pullover or a collared shirt. We're partnering with Roback in 2021, and we couldn't be more excited. So head to the link in our bio, add the Roback merch you want, and you'll get 15% off just by using the link. So enjoy and crave activity.
All right, so skins. We have the 3M Open this week. A little bit of a letdown coming off of the Open. I mean,
big time.
But
But then we got
field's
the
not
Olympics.
That great. We do have
The
the
Olympics
Olympics
are
coming
dope.
up, and also the FedEx Cup playoffs are coming up as well.
And
TPC Twin
Yeah.
Cities. This is going to be the 3rd time that this event's being played. It's a par 71, 74, 31. And it's one of those tournaments where guys are kind of going for top 125 spots to get into the BMW, to get in the FedEx Cup playoffs. Just like a side note there, Ricky Fowler sits at 124, so he's playing this week. There's a lot of birdies and eagles on this course.
didn't even
The two winning scores are -21 and -19 the 2 times this event is played. So there's a lot of scoring on this course, but it's also a ball strikers course, and guys who ball strike well usually go pretty low. The average hit fairways is actually above average on tour. I think it's just over 65% or so. And I would say the par 3s are probably the toughest on the course, if there's anything tough about this course. A lot of them play over 200 yards, so that's something to watch out for. The key stats: strokes gained approach, strokes gained off the tee, eagles gained, and then par 4 is 450 to 500. So with that, we want to get into the DFS lineup.
Yes. So our lineup last week, like we said, was awesome. Spieth 2, Usays in T3, Morikawa 1, McIntyre T8, English T46, and did Grace barely get cut?
He got cut on the number, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, that lineup came.
I picked him in the pool too.
That lineup potentially could have, like, honestly.
I had it in. That lineup came 33rd out of 11.9 thousand.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How much money did that make?
We were up to 8th was the highest I saw. We were up.
How much
to
money did that
in the
make?
3rd round. It made 17 times the money I put in.
Wow.
Honestly, if it wasn't for John Rahm, that probably would have won a lot more. So I'm sure a lot of people had John Rahm as a shot at the leaderboard after he made a run at T3.
But I mean, it was a good strategy. We had 1, 2, and 3, and then McIntyre made a run on Sunday. T8,
McIntyre was great.
Yeah.
Until he hit it. He hit it OB on like 15, the par 5.
Right.
And like he basically was
he was scrambling on the way in. On the last couple of holes, he was scrambling in, but he made a lot of pars, and good for him. I mean, he's been playing really well lately. So
yeah.
All right, so let's get into the lineup this week. I decided, based off, like, obviously course history and just the fact that Tony Finau played, like, pretty well this week. I think he finished off with, like, a really good round on Sunday. I think he's 5 under. I could be wrong about that, but I thought so. So that's who I picked at the top. And I really I didn't sacrifice much. I kind of actually loved some of the lower guys this week as well. But Tony Finau was 10,700. So that's who I went with for the top one.
Yeah, 3 under in his final round.
This feels like
this
feels like a week where someone like our number 5 guy, Richie Werenski. I can't say that name. Werenski.
Yeah,
will win. This is a week where someone like that, Werenski.
You got it.
Well, yeah. So he's 7,600, and yeah, I do feel that. I feel like this is a week that he could.
It's a week
make it
that's
happen.
gonna happen.
And then there's 3 guys at 7,600 in the lineup. Actually, him, Patrick Rogers, who another guy. He has good course history here, and he just finished 5th at the Barbasol, along with Mito Pereira, also 7,600, who also I think finished fifth at the Barbasol. So yeah, so I was really digging the 7,600 I guess this week, but
yeah, why not?
Mito Pereira, I mean, I'll talk about it maybe in a little bit, but I like it.
It could be our next Sal Taurus. We'll see.
He could.
We'll see.
We're good at sniping guys that are like on the come up.
We are. But with that being said, Bubba Watson at 9,100. I mean,
bomber.
Yeah, he could hit
bombers
the ball
have done well here.
He's a good ball striker on his day as well, so I could definitely see that as well.
Yeah, and it's not a very hard course, so like it's a course where Bubba Watson could probably get the putter going, and maybe he doesn't even need it to get all that much going when he's ball striking well. And then the last one,
he was playing well before. Obviously, he was supposed to be at the Open, and what kind of would have been cool to see him at the Open, just how creative he would have been. But he was playing well before that, and
when John Rahm got taken out of the Memorial, he came back from COVID and won. So
that's true. Yeah,
maybe Bubba does the same.
This is clearly the 7th.
I could see Bubba Watson win the 3M. I don't know why. I really could.
I can see. Well, speaking, we can go into our picks. Our last guy, Adam Schenk is our last guy.
Yeah, coming off a couple good results, Adam Schenk.
And he's a bomber too.
Yeah.
T15, T4, T41 in his last 3. So
I picked my winner and my best bet, and honestly did not even see that Finau and Bubba Watson were in the DraftKings lineup. And I picked Bubba to win.
Oh my God.
Harvard's golf course and Finau top 10.
All right. I mean,
I did not even see that. And then I think Bubba, like I said, Bubba driver's golf course is playing well. Like it feels like it's a tournament where the bomber is gonna win. Finau top 10, I feel like could be the week that Finau finally breaks through. For some reason, you said he played well on was it yesterday?
Sunday.
He
Yesterday.
played well.
He
hadn't played well in so long, and maybe he's gained to that point where he's finally figured maybe something out, and then just could go on an absolute tear. So I could see him win. And
if not, you got to keep picking him until he does break through. So
yeah, and top 10 I feel like is very possible with this field. So
I was wondering, I was like, why is there only one skin on the line this week? We all won our best bets, and then I realized Jeek picked Morikawa.
Yep.
There was that. So
yes,
I'm still sitting at one skin.
Yeah.
I had my best week ever ever.
Yeah.
I know.
In general, it was a good week.
So much.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess I'll go into mine. My winner's Mito Pereira. I don't know why my odds delete here. I'm kind of confused, but he's 70-1 this week. And like I said earlier, he's coming off a good week. He's been sick on the Corn Ferry Tour. Again, not that the 3M Open plays like a Corn Ferry Tour course, but it's obviously one of the easier courses on the schedule. So I think he can compete here for sure. And then my best bet is Patrick Rogers, top 30 or 40, whatever is in that minus 150 cutoff by Wednesday or Thursday. But it's like Monday night and they haven't come out yet. But I also think Patrick Rogers with his good course history here, also playing well recently. What was the tournament that he was competing in recently? Not obviously Barbasol. He's 5th last week. Let me see.
He's your guy. So
he is.
He is your guy.
We're brother in arms. Brothers in arms with our names. But he was competing maybe at the PGA, maybe the U.S. Open.
He finished T31 at the U.S. Open. So.
Oh, but he was like up there at one point during the U.S. Open, I think.
Yeah.
So that was why. But yeah, I like him this week.
Yeah, I like it. You guys both picked your guys this week with your best bets. So
yeah,
I like that. My winner this week, I'm gonna go a little off the board. I feel like this tournament's a little bit random in terms of who wins. And
Oh,
This
definitely.
guy really needs it to get up into the FedEx Cup standings. Sits at 127, and that guy's Gary Woodland. He's 50-1 this week. Like I said, needs to get into the top 125. Has a very wide range of results recently. Like he's a little bit all over the place. He's been cut in his last two, but like he also has some good finishes as well. So obviously he doesn't have his full game back, but any given week, Gary Woodland could play well. He's 53rd in strokes gained approach. I think he's a little bit better than that. If he's ball striking well, he's up there with some of the best, as you saw. And it's just a gut pick. So I don't know why. It's just a little random. But
I actually like that, especially
can see
sitting
it
at
happen this week.
127. I like that.
There's a little
I
extra
just
To at least
realized-
play well.
I just realized we're legit in the season of guys have extra motivation to play well just because of the FedEx Cup points.
Yeah.
And I mean, his
Which
results have
makes
been
a lot of sense. So
his results have been all over the place. He has a 5th place finish, a T14,
Yeah.
but then he also has 3 cuts, a T50, a T38. So he's just all over the place.
he played well at the PGA, right? Until I think he went shot like 75 or 76
77 in the last
something like that.
round. He went
Yeah.
70, 72, 72, 77, T38.
That's trash.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Now for my best bet, I'm gonna stick with a guy that we talked about a little bit earlier, Robert McIntyre, top 40 or 30, wherever it lands. Like I said, pretty hot recently. He's made his last 6 PGA Tour cuts and his last 8 in Europe and on the PGA Tour. So I mean, he's on fire recently.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick for sure.
Yeah, not at all. And then into the first round leader.
I like this one.
I'm feeling Emiliano Grillo, first round leader. This is a tournament that I think he's going to play well in. He's 40-1 first round leader. I just feel it.
I like
Played
it.
well last week at the Open.
He did.
I decided if I win another tournament future at some point in the next couple weeks, I am putting it to the side and I'm buying Machine Gun Kelly tickets with it.
Very nice.
That's
Random,
fair.
but
It can't be a favorite.
What if it's like
though,
wrong? 100, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not really getting MGK tickets with 10 to win 80. But
maybe
yeah.
maybe you just put $30 on Rom if
No, I
he's
don't
your
want to
pick,
do
if you're
that.
just absolutely sure.
But like that's
I mean, like the U.S. Open, like you had to be
Well,
absolutely
if you want
sure
Ben,
that Rom was going to.
if you want to bend your guy, Mito Pereira, what were his odds to win?
70-1. So 10 to win
That's a
700.
pretty good one. Yeah, 10 to win 700. Never know.
That's I mean, I feel like at some point one of us or whatever
I hit mine
has to hit. No. I know, but I'm saying like during like one of these like non-major tournaments, like the 3M, is gonna pick somebody that's like so far 80-1 or like 60-1, like 50-1.
They're gonna win.
And they're gonna win so much money. Just like I know, obviously, Jake, you had a pretty good week, but
Yeah.
on a random like Mito Pereira or something like that'd be so. It's crazy. It's bound to happen at some point during the lifespan of this podcast.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like it might have happened already at some point, but
No,
I don't know.
it didn't. Nothing that crazy.
Or maybe we've had like crazy guys who have finished like really well. We've had a lot of winners. I mean, we didn't even mention we picked 3 of the 4 major winners this year.
Yep.
I mean, technically Matsuyama he counts, but he also
there's a
doesn't count
DraftKings
'cause it
pick,
was a
but like still,
DraftKings pick. But like we did pick 3 of the 4 major winners this year, and like no one was going to pick Phil to win. So that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
No one's gonna do that.
No, like I guess some people
This could be the Mito Pereira week. We could be revisiting this next Monday and saying like, wow, Patrick, we actually called this. Mito Pereira actually just won. But
I freaking hope so, because I really want to go see an MGK concert. So
are you gonna bet? You're gonna put money on him?
I guess so. I guess you kind of just talked me into putting $10 on him.
It's $10, which in long.
I mean, that would like triple up.
That would cover
the
it,
amount
yeah.
of money it costs. Dude,
Yeah.
MGK tickets are like $285. It's crazy.
I mean, you could bring a friend if you
General
you,
admission.
get that one.
Yeah, I could bring a hot date. Jeek, you want to come?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like this segment in general has just kind of been in the clubhouse.
Yeah, we're deep into
We're
the
for
clubhouse
sure
right
in
now.
the clubhouse when we're talking about MGK and
GK and G going his Pad's date to
Yeah.
MGK.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say no. I couldn't. I can't say no. To
that's
that.
just some guy stuff
Can't
right
say
there.
no.
That's just some guy stuff. Do we want to talk about anything else in the clubhouse?
I saw a tweet today. It was how would you rank the majors like over the last calendar year? How would you rank them in terms of
like which guy? Because I saw like a rank the moments too.
like not even the moment, like not even the moments, but like just like the overall majors, everything about them.
I mean,
Okay, what was
I'm not
I think
gonna
my
lie.
favorite major might have been
I
the
really
US Open.
enjoyed the Open because it wasn't played last year, and it's just a little bit of a different vibe.
Yeah,
that's just
true.
kind
Like
of enjoyed it that way.
You might be right,
even
actually.
even just like not even just like these four, but like the ones like the PGA, like Harding Park.
The Masters might have been
Wingfoot,
my
stuff
least
like that.
favorite.
I was gonna say
The
that
Masters-
also. We had
the
two
Masters-
Masters in the last however
The
many months. Like,
the DJ Masters was my least favorite, if I had to say.
yeah, agreed.
I actually
And
didn't
then-
love the US Open because I didn't love Torrey Pines all that much, but I loved the ending to the
The
tournament. Like
moment,
the
the
yeah.
moment was
Yeah,
awesome.
17 and 18.
and Phil
for
was
sure.
cool, but like it wasn't like so sick. I don't know. I think it
mean,
might go
that-
Open, US Open, PGA, Masters. I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome, but like I
Yeah,
think
we had
I
a lot
liked
of
the US
good
Open more
Masters.
than the Masters or than
Okay.
the PGA. Barely.
I think if I had to do it, I would do. I think Rahm's win. I didn't love Torrey Pines. And I think the same Wingfoot was the same thing. But I think the Rahm winning those two putts was so awesome. I think that's number one for me, and then probably Phil at Kiel, which I think it was just an awesome moment again.
Yeah.
And then this was. I mean, the Open. You're right. The Open.
We had really
was a
good
lot of fun to
majors.
watch.
I mean,
We did.
I
This year
really
was
like the
awesome.
Open.
And
I like the Open.
I still didn't think the Masters was awesome, but
No,
Yeah,
until if
Fine.
if Xander doesn't hit in the water in 16,
we might be talking about a
whole
different
conversation.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true.
I like the Open just because of how spot on we were going into it. Like,
Yeah, that's
we
also-
had
also
everything
true.
correct.
This
and,
was-
like,
We
it
also
just went
all
to
like
plan.
did well in our own ways, in our own personal ways. Like I did really well
Yeah,
in the US Open
exactly.
because I had Rahm, Jeek had Morikawa, so and you had
Yeah.
Matsuyama, obviously.
I
But
did have Matsuyama, I forgot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did this is the last question I'll have for the podcast this week. Did this weekend just really take it out of you? Like waking up every day like early for the
Yeah.
Open, like
Yeah.
obviously it's the weekend. You're like doing stuff. Like
100%.
Jeek had a graduation party. We were all there. I don't know. I was going out. Like it was just like this morning I woke up and I felt so tired from like waking up every morning doing stuff like. Oh.
Today I woke up this morning for work. I woke up at like 6 a.m. I'm in the car. I'm like, I really, really do not like this. I've never wanted to go to work less than in my life. I think than today.
We're like voluntarily waking up pretty early.
Caddying, golf, Jeek's
after
graduation
voluntarily
party.
waking up super early
Exactly.
all weekend,
like
starting Thursday.
I didn't like okay, like I really wanted to sleep in today, and now but it's of course I had to go to work.
But even by Sunday, I missed the first hole of more of the leaders on Sunday because I was like tossing. I was like hitting my alarm like snooze, and on Sunday morning I was like, dude, I know it's the Open Championship, but like I'm missing the first hole. I'm so tired right now. Like it's just, you think they went through the ringer, all those players?
I know, right?
No. Me as I put in just as much effort.
Imagine the guys like who are like in Stanford because like they broadcast like from
Dude,
Stanford.
I know.
Like, they were,
So I go to
those
I go to
guys
Chelsea
in Stanford
Piers.
they must hate them. They must like they're some of those guys commentating or like on like Peacock or at like 1:30 in the morning commentating like into the floor.
I go to Chelsea Piers and they have these like big which is in the same thing as NBC Sports Group, obviously same like facility, and they had these huge massive like trucks outside, like must have been for like, are they like generators or are they like programming trucks? I don't know, but like they had them all over the place over there.
Yeah, it is wild that they did a lot of it from Stanford.
Because I at first the week leading up, I like was driving past those. I was like, "What is that outside NBC Sports Group?" And then obviously Thursday comes around. I'm like, makes sense because I just realized they're not in Sandwich, England. They're from home, which is honestly, it was dumb, the whole situation with COVID, but they were so strict, and then the UK I think opened up today, which is
and whatever. I mean, it was still a good tournament. We still had
they're all coming from. I mean, Louis Grillo, all these guys are coming from the Open to play in Minnesota this week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like it's
they have to play in like a pro-am tomorrow.
Yeah, they're playing they're probably playing.
They have to play a 5-6 hour round of golf tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm fade Louis
that's
this
ridiculous.
week.
Yeah,
I can't see Louis playing well this week. I just can't. After that,
I feel like he has no motivation anymore. Like he's turning to Brooks. He's turning to Brooks in terms of he's only showing up for the majors.
I mean, whatever. It's nice to cash those pretty big checks the last 4 majors. So I mean, it's not like he hasn't won anything. He's made quite some money.
Well, damn boys, the next major is not till next April.
I know we've been spoiled recently.
So spoiled.
We did mention we do have the Olympics, which is
the
cool.
Olympics, the
Tour
Championship, Cup playoffs.
Ryder Cup will be that will be awesome.
Okay, so that's basically a major. That's basically a major.
Yeah, that'll be another
end
level,
of September,
like in terms of fans. Yeah.
All right. Well,
football season. Oh boy.
There you go. So next week we got the Olympics. I'm not really sure what the time difference how that'll play.
I looked it up. I actually looked it up because it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. It'll be basically be prime time, but it'll be
that's awesome.
Starting on Wednesday night.
Oh, all right. We'll still have the podcast out though, so that's fine.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, Olympics all over Sun JM and Siwoo campus.
Yeah.
Sun JM,
next week will be.
They're probably grinding 24/7.
Should we have beaten the bookie on next week?
Maybe if it permits.
I was gonna. Yeah. Oh right.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway, regardless, next week will be a good episode with the Olympics. So looking forward to that. Not really too familiar with the course, but I'm sure we'll be more familiar by next week's episode. Other than that, enjoy the 3M Open. See you next week.